Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 22nd of December. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. Right. In terms of equities, one thing I was writing about on Friday was that we have a compellingly long week this week, not in trading terms, but obviously in holiday terms and in bullish terms, because we've got 67% bullish today, 67% bullish tomorrow. We've got 71% bullish on Friday. Thursday's closed, Wednesday's a half day, and it's 57% bullish. It's all basically bullish. It's not necessarily going to be particularly strong, but it is leaning bullish. So we will see how that goes. But in terms of the patterns I was looking at on Friday, we've got an IHS here on EFs, which has broken up with a target just under a retest of the high. On NQ, we've got a IHS here, which is broken up with a target just below a retest of the high. On RTY, it hadn't broken up yet, but it has broken up now, and I've got a target not far below, sorry, a retest of the all-time high here. It's not the all-time high on ES, but the new all-time highs are not that far away, and I am expecting them to be retested. YM, we've got a very nice looking double bottom, hasn't got a great deal this morning and hasn't broken up yet, but as and when it does, it would have a target back up at a retest of this high. DAX, we've got, sorry, I'm still transferring DAX over. I was hoping to get another week out of it, but the trading has already finished, and I was hoping to get another week out of it just because the data tends to be somewhat thin, and it's particularly thin on ESTX. Pretty hard to make a chart out of that, frankly. So I'll get those sorted later, but in the meantime, we have obviously a fair amount of movement to the upside and historical stats to the upside. So we will see. All right, bear with me a moment. Oh, while we're waiting, yeah, I'm going to post this. I'll probably post this as the chart of the day today. I've got this really nice looking double. Sorry, here, wait a second. Sorry, this is being very slow today. Double bottom here, and this is when I drew this about a week and a half ago. It's now breaking up with this is a big mover on aluminium. By the time it gets to this target, it would have quadrupled from where it was, well, basically on Liberation Day. Not that this rise, I think, has anything really to do with the tariffs. It's just that's where it's heading. Okay, in terms of let's go. All right, sorry, everything is going a little slowly this morning. All right, now looking at the SPX chart, obviously we saw ES and SPX. We saw breaks back over the daily middle bands on Friday, and I'm expecting those to confirm with a move through today, and I'm not seeing anything at the moment suggesting that they won't, with us up 30 at the moment at the time of speaking. In terms of the daily chart here, nice break over it again, and the other one which had broken below the daily middle band was the Qs, and we've seen the break up there. I'm expecting those to confirm, and I'm looking for those patterns to work out to the upside. In terms of where I'm thinking we're going after, we see retest of these short-term highs. I'm thinking the all-time highs are not far away. In terms of the head and shoulder patterns, which broke down here, when these fail, I generally expect them to go back and retest the prior high, which is the all-time high. So I'm looking for all-time high retests on SPX and Qs. We've already seen those on DIA and IWM. In terms of the patterns here, they're somewhat different to the ones on ES, but nonetheless, we've got decent patterns across the board and rather better than the ones that we've got on the futures. We've got an IHS here, which is broken up with a target at a retest of 6903 on SPX. On Qs, we've got an IHS which has got broken up with a target at about the 627.2 area, I think, not far below this high here at 62921. In terms of DIA, we've got a potential little level bottom, very like the one on the futures. Hasn't broken up yet, but as and when it does, it would have a target at a retest of the all-time high. In terms of IWM, bear with me a moment. Right, in terms of IWM, we've got a little IHS which has already broken up with a target at a retest. Well, pretty close to a retest of the all-time high, back up in about the 255.8 area. So I'm expecting this to play out, and we will see how those go. In terms of DAX, I'd quite like to see a retest of the high here, but there is a possible alternative. We had a head and shoulders here. It was nice. It failed. And that normally would come back and retest the high unless an alternate head and shoulders is forming, and one may be forming here. This would be the alternate neckline. This would be the head. Sorry, the right left shoulder. This would be the head. This would be the right shoulder. And obviously, if that's the case, we're pretty much at the ideal right shoulder high now. I'm wondering if we might stall there until the whole market is ready to turn. We will see how that goes. In terms of Nikkei, getting back up to the daily middle band, hasn't broken back above it yet, but I think my lean would be it probably is best fit for a pattern here, and it might not. It's not awesome, but it's not bad. Is that we're forming a consolidation triangle. If we are seeing that, then the obvious target for that would be a retest of the all-time high. So we shall see. All right, let's have a look at the DX chart. Now, DX, I drew in a possible IHS which could be forming here, and we are forming the right shoulder for it, and that's still looking pretty nice. We do have an open daily RSI 5 buy signal on DX, and we've got a couple of daily RSI 5 sell signals fixed on the alternate currency pairs. We could just break down directly from here, of course, come back into the retest this low, and we do obviously have a double top target that's broken down with a target in the 97.19 area, but I think there is a decent shot that we're going to see some more rally here, although I'm not seeing any signs yet of a full rejection. In terms of ZB, this has just been trading sideways really since the Fed rate cut, which frankly, in terms of the bonds and bond yields, is largely irrelevant. We're still trading sideways here. I do have a falling wedge here. It's not awful. We could be forming a reversal pattern here. Nothing with any great conviction. The main thing is the decent pattern we've got here is the head and shoulders that's broken down with a target in the 112.04 area. In terms of ZN, the decent pattern here is the double top, which has broken down with a target in the 112.24, 110.17 to 110.12 area. In the meantime, we had a little level bottom that's made target, and looks like we're forming a little flag here, and I'm thinking that might just be a bear flag. In terms of CL, HO, and RBOB all rolled into February. This was looking like a bear flag, but is looking less like that now. We're back up to 58.07. I'm still expecting to see some more downside, retest the last lows, but that's not to say we don't have nice little patterns here. We've got a nice little level bottom forming here on the HO chart. We haven't retested this low here, and I have to say the daily chart's going to look a bit of a mess if we don't come back and retest that. RBOB, no particular targets further to the downside. Nice rally. This was looking like a bear flag, and it's looking less like it this morning. We will see. I'm still leaning towards seeing retest the lows across the board. On NG, NG, very, very strong move down here. We've got a potential little level bottom here. It hasn't broken up yet, but if it does, that would open up a potential back test. Pretty close, well, more in the 4.6 area, but it would open up a potential back test to the monthly pivot at 4.691. All right, GC, we are breaking higher, and that is a new all-time high, if I'm not much mistaken. On SI, we have gone higher, and it's thinking about taking 70. Palladium, we've actually gone quite a lot higher. Now, obviously, on the bigger picture, we've got the 60-minute sell signal, which has now failed here. We had a sell signal on platinum as well, and that's now also failed, although we have another one which is now trying to fail. These are breaking higher. We've managed to get up over 2100 here on platinum. On the IHS I've been talking about for the last few months, the minimum targets, I think, at about the 2290 area. We're actually going into the range now. We've got a nice break up in the IHS on palladium that's also broken up. These are behaving like precious metals now, which is good. And I think they could go a lot further up, but we might be seeing a bit of a pullback after a very strong couple of days. HG, we've still got a nice looking double top here, because we had a double top, broke down, fell back into the high, and we've got a larger potential level top here. We do have negative divergence on the daily chart. We've got sell signals on the daily chart. And really, on the bigger picture, slightly amazed HG managed to get this high. I don't think the prospects of the market are that good next year. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this retrace. I'd be a bit surprised not to see it retrace. Right, in terms of the other currencies, not a lot to see on KC. Heading a bit lower. 60-minute buy signal is fixed. Really delivered very little so far, but might be worth a rally soon. On SB, this still looks like a bear flag forming overall. We haven't quite made it to the double bottom target in the 15.43 area, and I'd like to see that target made. On CC, nice looking little double bottom here. I'm wondering about a retest this high, very possibly set up the second high of a double top. We will see how that goes. Testing support at the monthly pivot at the moment at 57.17. On CT, I've got a bit of a issue with this chart. There's a setting I need to find and it's reset, I think, that has done itself over the weekend. You can see basically where it's showing the gaps where it's not trading for some reason. So I need to find the setting for that. But overall, you can still see the double bottom that I'm looking at here. And that hasn't broken up yet, but it may well do so. Lumber rolled down into March, and I rolled also soy and soybean oil into March as well. Lumber, we did have a double bottom that's broken up here. This is actually an IHS which is broken up, and that's broken up with a target in the 620 area. ZW, I've got a nice looking channel here which I'm looking at. So obvious next target within the channel. We had a little IHS here I was talking about. That's actually broken up and made target, so pretty much so I'm not going to mark that in now. But the obvious target would be the declining resistance currently in about the 523.5 area. On corn, we've got a what looks like a consolidation triangle here, albeit a rough one. That seems to be breaking up at the moment. A 60-minute sell signal has fixed and maybe in the process of failing, because if this is the triangle breaking up, then the obvious target would be a retest of this high here, so up in about the 457 area, and that would be my lean for where it's going from here. On terms of soy, this is rolled into March, and soybean oil has been rolled into March too. Head and Shoulders already made target. Week 6-minute buy signal is fixed. Haven't really had much of a rally on that so far. Soybean oil, very nice looking channel here again. Possible double bottom. This would break up basically with a break of the declining channel. I am wondering about a rally here, but the 60-minute buy signal is getting into the possible near miss target area. On live cattle, this looks like this could be a double top, but looks more like a bullish consolidation to my eye. On lean hogs, again, this could be a double top, but looks a little more like a bullish consolidation to my eye. And we've got a large double bottom that's broken up with a target in the 88.65 to 90.2 area. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. All right, in that case, I think that's a wrap. My lean is basically bullish this week, unless there's serious news. There always seems to be quite a lot of news, but my lean is very much towards the pattern setup, and the history says that we go back up and we see all across the board retests of the all-time highs in the next few days. We may well be forming a top when we get there. Wouldn't surprise me a little bit. And the crypto action we're seeing is suggesting quite strongly that that is what we'll be watching. All right, great. In that case, I think it's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.